Actually.
Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law.
Enough.
Not bad.
Yeah, I wasn't even trying.
Jeremy, you see the rules on the who we are below the fucking stream?
Which part? The rule? Oh, who we are? Yeah.
Who we are and the rules? I like rule number 5.
Yeah, no one's safe.
And what he has for Kappa. Brit.
Yeah.
No, dude.
Yeah, we got, let's see.
Wouldn't it be cool
200
if you could
people,
combine the
200
capability
members
of a
now.
Pathfinder with the comfort of a sedan?
Yeah, that's more I'm thinking.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
I'm actually messaging them again right now just to make sure they're here.
Trying to get my fucking headset away from my face so I'm not like overpowering loud.
Overpowered bitches.
Paul says invite me. Yeah, we can have Paul come on like later in the show to talk about Black Ops 2. He hasn't already.
I don't know. Why would he want to come on though in the first place? Like right now. Oh shit! Yeah, you go. We'll get you in at the end, dude. We got a pretty girthy show tonight to put on. So I don't know if girthy was the right word to use there, but a pretty meaty show. Fuck that. Is that better? Yeah, fuck that.
Alright, Redline's ready. I'm just waiting for ImPactz to message me back.
Nothing is more girth than you. That sounds very weird. That would be something Karma would say. Everything will be streamed on this channel from now on, so give it a follow if you haven't already, peeps. Trying to get this shit partnered here next month.
Shit, it should take us a month.
Midget King's up in this dude.
Alright, both guys are here and ready to go.
Cool.
Alright. Don't bring him in yet.
I mean, I have absolutely no reason to bring them in yet.
Stream out, people. Let's get some viewers up in here. I don't know if my viewer thing is locked or whatnot, but we don't have enough. The dude's like making it a point to tell me he's coming now. Good.
Cool.
No, it's Kuwache.
Oh, it's Kuwache. Kuwache.
That's what Turbo keeps saying, so that's what sticks.
I like Kuwache better.
Kuwache is good.
It just flows off the tongue. Quacha? That's stupid.
I think it's the long A. Quache.
Quache. Oh, I was right. I got the fucking enunciation of a champ.
See, I don't understand why do you have to have a username gamer tag like that? Why can't you have something simple that's easy to pronounce?
I don't know if he wants to be difficult. Why not? I would.
It's your real life nickname? Wow.
What does it mean? It has to mean something. Someone Google that shit.
It's Mexican for possum. Oh, okay.
I don't know if I'd like that.
Possum? Okay, it's either possum or raccoon. It can't be either or because they're two totally different animals. Hey, you spelled raccoon wrong. Dude, I got that song stuck in my head.
Why?
Oh, I was watching a TV show this morning. And it was like during the ending credits. It's still stuck in my damn head. I requested Tuesday and Wednesday off next week, so hopefully I get it.
Probably try and find somebody to work for me on Tuesday.
When I'm going to midnight release, I'm fucking playing that shit all day. It's a good song. What's another one that I sang a lot at work? Give me the beat, boys, and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll.
No,
and
no,
drift
no, no.
away.
Stop. Stop. Stop it.
A little butchery there, but
Oh my god.
I'm eating fries while I'm singing. Yeah, so.
oh man.
Oh, it's about showtime. I gotta prime it up. Alright. Back to go. Alright, here we go. Alright, what is up, ranters, and welcome to the Weekly Rant. As you all can see by now, is that we're now streaming on a new channel. We enjoyed streaming on the UMadGear channel, but it's been a month and a half now, and we think it's time to kind of go over to our own channel, try and get that partnered ourselves. Try and brand the Weekly Rant a little better. We're still with UMG and everything, just felt like getting our own channel going. So tonight's show. Wow, what do I have to say? Yeah, what was it last weekend? I love the fact that now, when anything happens in the community, like anything sketchy or just any drama, I mean, it's kind of nice. You go to the Weekly Rant Twitter, the interactions, and honestly, our Twitter blows up every time something happens. It's awesome. We love being here for you guys to come to so that we can have this show on for you guys to expose these people. Another thing I want to say before we start this, we're totally unbiased on these subjects. We're not, for one side or the other. We're just putting a show on for you guys to get the information out there. So, on tonight's show, many of you may have known already, some of you may not. It's about Gamrs.net website, a tournament last week. I'm actually going to read the post once we get the guys up here that it actually happened to. So, Jeremy, you want to bring them in here real quick?
Yep, dropping them in as soon as I can find their names. Alright, there's Redline.
I just had Five Guys too. I'm still eating the fries, man. You can eat fries from Five Guys for a good hour.
What up?
Hello.
Alright, well, the Twitter feed's gonna go. You're gonna be seeing the forum here in a second, because I gotta read this shit. So, if any of you guys haven't been on our forums yet, Brian or Jeremy can post the link in the chat of the thread that we're basically bringing all the information from. But it went 8 pages long. I didn't even realize this. I'm busy with school and work, and I got on the thread like an hour and a half ago, and I was amazed. It took me a good 45 minutes to read the whole damn thing. Oh man, my brain was hurting afterwards. There's so many posts. It was insane. It was by far the biggest thread we've had so far on this topic, so who knows how long this show can go tonight.
Which I did tell you to do that yesterday, so you wouldn't do it.
Dude, I got homework and shit. Oh man, I can't wait till December 12th when I'm like done with finals and everything. I can just spend more time. But Redline and ImPactz, you want to introduce yourselves before I read this freaking long-ass post that ImPactz posted to start off the thread?
Go ahead, ImPactz.
I'll let Redline go first then.
All right. Well, I'm Redline. I'm a competitive gamer, and I manage Donut Shop, and I play for the team called Unit, and ImPactz is my teammate.
Yeah, my name is ImPactz. I'm a Slayer for the unit, and I don't do anything else.
Oh, cool. Those are great introductions, guys. I'm glad you brought those out. All right, so I'm gonna read this post. It's probably gonna take a good minute. All right, so this is, if you guys haven't read up on this, you don't know what the hell's going on, this is for you guys, because I'm sure not all of you know what's going on. So here we go. So the reason Gamrsnet is getting called out on Twitter is because of myself and my teammate DS Redline. We were involved in a 2-vs-2 tournament for Black Ops. In the first round of the bracket, we were against Avenged, their sponsored team. The Avenged is the official team for Gamrs.net. We sent numerous friend request messages, party invites, and voice messages to the team Avenged. We never received anything back, and after waiting 30 minutes for Avenged to show, we contacted Gamrs.net to report their team had not showed up. After trying to get their ticket system to work, which it never did, we tried contacting them on Skype. A response was never received. So we tweeted at them to get their attention. The tweet went unnoticed, and they ultimately moved their team on instead of us. Even though we tried contacting and reporting through every outlet we could, at this point we were extremely frustrated and went on to play 2 other tournaments we had scheduled for the day. This happened Saturday the 3rd, which was last Saturday. We didn't receive anything from Gamrs.net on anything until the next day, Sunday the 4th, when they asked for proof after the event was finished. When they asked for proof, we lost our cool and started bashing on Twitter about fraudulence. The reason we started saying frauds was because we felt they had rigged their tournament for their own team to win. We understand bashing on social media was immature. Yes, it was. But that was simply a frustrated reaction to what we saw as a fraudulent company. Here are some facts that make the situation sketchy at best. On their site, Gamrs.net has a flawless ticket system. After trying multiple different browsers and even our mobile phones, we couldn't get the ticket to send. They state on their website that the main form of contact should be the ticket system or Skype. So next we tried contacting them via Skype. At this point, we had already messaged them once before, about 3 minutes before Avenged was supposed to forfeit, saying, "Is your sponsored team on?" We messaged them again saying, "Hello." Now here we understand that this was a feeble attempt at making contact. The reason we didn't randomly post the results was because we both didn't receive a response from them and they were offline, or they were appearing offline, which will come out later in the show. Which is why we got on Twitter to get their attention. After no response for 2 minutes, Redline got on Skype and tried to get their attention by saying, "Hi, we are just trying to get a hold of them." They actually have screen caps of all the stuff that they posted too. They never responded to that tweet or replied on Twitter, even though after that tweet was sent, they tweeted 1 to 2 minutes later. I highly doubt. Oh, I didn't even notice that the first time. So they actually tweeted after you. Okay, well, that's messed up. I highly doubt our tweet went noticed. Wait, I highly doubt our tweet went unnoticed. Probably. Yeah, that's what you meant. I highly doubt our tweet went unnoticed, and this is part of our suspicious evidence against Gamrs.net. They saw our tweet and ignored it, once again making it seem like they were rigging their own tournament for their team. After we sent that tweet, we looked on their website again to see if they had moved us on already, and that's why they weren't responding. When we looked at the bracket, it showed they had already moved their team on without making any attempt to contact us or reply to us. Dude, I just gotta say, the posts in this forum, they were all like a page long. Like, seriously.
Yeah, they were very well thought out.
Oh my god, dude! You guys okay. This is when we lost our cool. We were already extremely frustrated after losing in first round of ICNs due to a power outage of one of our teammates. Redline got on Twitter and said, "What the fuck at Gamrsnet? We are on to play, and you advance your team, and they never added me, and I added them. This is stupid." Followed closely by, "This company is frauds. They advanced their sponsored team without them even playing us at Gamrsnet." We didn't receive any response from Gamrs.net that day, although we did get plenty of support from the community that night and heard some horrible things about the site from other competitors that had played on their site before. Before I go any further, did anybody contact these other players that have had bad experience with the Gamrs.net?
I couldn't get a hold of anyone.
What about Redline and ImPactz?
We had attempted to contact some of the other guys, but some of the other teams are kind of like, one of them was a team that was more like kind of pub stars that didn't really know anything about Twitter or anything, and so like they were like, "We don't have Skypes, whatnot," and we attempted to contact them and get them on the show, but they really didn't seem like they were going to go in with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, it didn't seem like we had a lot of people that contacted us that said they were going to. Right when this started happening on the the third Saturday, whenever it was, not the next day that Twitter exploded, but that night when people were reporting that there were problems, where a lot of, I don't want to say unknown, but teams that aren't really known in the community, people that we had never heard of,
well, you get that a lot on little websites like this. But let me go on before we go any further. I'm going to finish this out real quick. I'm almost at the end. Jesus. Okay. It was the next day, Sunday, that we finally received a responsive prompt block on Twitter from Gamrs.net. We again lost our cool, tweeted about frauds again, and the community exploded at Gamrs.net about the situation, which after a short bit ended up here, the Weekly Rant forums. Which, by the way, if you guys come across anything, ever have any issues that you want to be brought up on the Weekly Rant, the forums are the best place to go to post them. You can always hit us up on Twitter to let us know about it. But if you go and post on the forums and show topics, or not show topics, apply to be on the show with the topic, and we're normally on here every day looking at the forums, so if you have something posted there, tweet it at us, link us the thread, and we'll retweet it. We'll get as many people in there as possible to give their viewpoint on it, because this forum thread blew up. There's 8 pages of it, and these really make for great shows, and you guys love these kind of shows, so if you see something, go to our forums and let us know. But moving on, we ultimately retracted our statement about them rigging their tournament since we had believed they won the tournament. The team Advenge was knocked out in the 3rd round. But after looking at some evidence brought forth by another player involved in the tournament, we are back to stating it was rigged. We are back to stating that because after looking at the bracket, which has been removed or hidden, and I would love to see that bracket, we do have, I believe we have the owner of the site coming on after we talk with these guys, and he should be able to get that bracket back. We feel it gave their team an extremely unfair advantage in the tournament, and although it might not have been easy enough to win, it was still sketchy to do it. Out of all the teams, the team Advenge was supposed to play teams that only had one player on the roster. Now this looks pointless since we're supposed to play them, but I was added to the roster if the brackets were made. Therefore, I hadn't joined, they would have gotten an instant because we would have only had one player. They had one player roster all the way to quarterfinals, in which it was inevitable to play another team. The rest of the bracket had all their teams with 2-player rosters, and even though a lot of the teams didn't play due to icons, the other brackets still had teams that were expected to play. So in short, they played a tournament held by Gamrsnet, and they got DQ'd the first round for being a no-show is basically what happened. So, after I just read that frickin' Bible of information right there, you guys, you're on here now. Share your thoughts about the matter, what you think about it now that it's gone over about 5 days. Are you still heated about the situation? I don't know. It's just, what are your thoughts?
It's not so much we're heated about getting removed from the tournament. The reason we kept on, quote, pursuing this issue is that they kept on the forums. If you look at the post, that every single time they posted was just calling us liars and trying to disprove the situation, and they were just trying to post, I'm not saying liar, but very small and pointless reactions to what we were saying. And it didn't seem like anything they didn't have anything to counter what we were saying. And, it was never our attempt to get on the TheWRant. We never tweeted at the TheWRant until, in fact, you tweeted that night after Twitter exploded asking what was going on. It wasn't our idea to get on the TheWRant. We were just trying to let other players know to avoid this site based on what we had just seen. But anyways, the main point we were looking for was for an apology, and it seemed like every time they put an apology on there, immediately, therefore, in the same exact post after they would quote-unquote apologize was, they would just immediately bash us again. In fact, one time they say, oh, we are issuing a formal apology, and then 2 lines down, they just flat-out call us liars about everything. And, it didn't feel like anything got handled. And that's why you could say we're still heated about this issue, is that they don't understand what they've done wrong. They don't feel they've done anything wrong in this situation. And obviously we feel like this is a horrible situation.
Well,
not so much in the fact that we
just to give a little information, it was a free tournament, and the prize was $100 for first place. And it's not the matter that it was a free tournament or not. I mean, the whole Modern Warfare 3 season, it was an MLG, you had the UMG, but after the UMG was over, it's all these little free tournament sites popping up everywhere. So these guys are trying to start a business, and I mean, really, all there is to talk about on Modern Warfare 3 is free tournament sites. So we are going to go on about this. I just wanted to get that across to the people in here that needed that information. And Rose Squad, you are farly annoying, dude. But, go on, Redline. Or was it ImPactz? I don't know. It was one of you.
It was me. Anyways, so that's just how we feel about the situation, was that we were looking for an apology, and even though they said what we were looking for, it wasn't the apology we were looking for. We were looking for a formal apology that they understood what they did wrong, and we're hoping that they would, change their situation and understand so that they wouldn't do it again. And we don't feel like they understand that they've done anything wrong. The main point they have against us is that we didn't follow the rules, when we followed the rules to every degree we possibly could. Like I said in the post, the only thing we could have done differently is, without knowing they were there, is randomly post the results, which, as far as we're concerned, probably would have gone unnoticed. I don't think that they were there, even though he says in a forum post, we were appearing offline or whatever, we just didn't respond. I highly doubt that's the situation, because later in the post they actually, or not even later in the post, before he posted that, they actually said they had to go search through and find what we said, which means it went unnoticed completely. They actually had to search to find what we had said, which means, they weren't paying attention. They weren't there. I don't feel that they were appearing offline. I don't think they were there, period. A lot of other teams that tried to report didn't get a response either, although a lot of them were just moved on because the other teams didn't show up. It's the same situation for a lot of other people. Unfortunately, the problem with that is that we don't have a lot of people that are necessarily known in the community, and like Redline stated earlier, this is a small site and it has a lot of brand new competitive players that don't understand tournaments and such like that, but they at least know that if you're supposed to play and the other team doesn't show up, you are the one that moves on, not the other team.
I mean, I get the fact that you guys are upset about the opposite team, their sponsored team, moving on, and I can understand why. But was there any proof that the opposite team was even online as well? Were they even around? Did they provide that proof?
No.
Nowhere on the forum.
Yeah.
Nowhere on the forums did they ever say anything about their sponsored team. Whenever we posted something about their sponsored team, they never replied to it, period. So they've never posted any evidence suggesting their team was on. And if anything, I think it's still under my Twitter reactions. If I go down here, somebody actually tweeted when this was happening that Etch-a-Sketch wasn't even online that day, and he was supposed to play because it was his anniversary with his girlfriend.
Hold on. Wait, that's Etch's team?
Yes, Etch-a-Sketch's team is Avenged, and they're sponsored by Gamers.net.
All right, Etch the Sketch. He's dating So Vicious. I actually have both of them on Skype. Let me try to get a hold of Etch because I want to know from him.
What the hell?
I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
Yeah. The only thing I was upset about is the fact that I tried to contact them on Skype. Granted, I didn't say much, but they're not appearing online during their own tournament. Doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I just want to
Well, have they?
when the
have
city. All right, go on, Brian. We both have something we want to say.
I'm sorry. Had they used this method of contacting them prior, like using Skype to get a hold of them?
Yes. Last
we
tournament
have.
before that.
We've actually played 2 tournaments with this site before and used Skype before. And in fact, if you look on the screen cap that we supplied from Redline, he was actually chatting with them before the tournament starts. They know who Redline is. In fact, when this company first started, he actually, tweeted out and supported them and tried to get them views. And then he explained to them to go to Sean Abner, which is why if you see them tweeting at Sean Abner, it's because of Redline explaining that's how you get yourself out there, is going through Sean Abner, etc. So, literally, we helped this company grow, and Redline chats with them all the time before this tournament. They know who he is. They know what team he's on, because the unit has been involved with every single tournament they've hosted so far. In fact, I believe we're the only team that has been involved with every single one of their tournaments.
Okay.
We want money.
I mean, that would make sense that they would know who you are. Because they did notice that you played in a past tournament a month ago. Was that the last tournament you played in was a month ago?
It wasn't even a month ago. It was the weekend before, and then the weekend before that as well.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
The very first tournament, stating in their rules, I had to contact them on Skype to make sure that we were there and whatnot. And in the rules, it stated that Skype was their main form of contact for all tournaments. So
this company is extremely new, by the way. A lot of people haven't heard about it, but they're barely a month and a week old.
Damn.
I can understand that, you're a new company, you're gonna fuck up on things. It's gonna happen.
yeah.
Exactly. That's why we weren't attacking them.
But for them to know you prior, and you've already talked with them, and they know, hey, these guys are going to be competing in my tournament, and we put it out there before that Skype is going to be our form of contact, then you need to be replying to absolutely every message sent to you there. Because every message you get on Skype is potentially somebody playing in your tournament.
Well, I just know when I was affiliated with Cross-Eyed Arena CEA, that site, I don't know what happened to it, but we ran that $3,000 online tournament there. When was that? I don't even remember anymore, but it was during Modern Warfare 3. It was probably 3-4 months ago, maybe longer. But that was a 256-team tournament, and we had like 5 people running it, and that was hectic. But one thing you do know is that when you're running a tournament, like an online tournament, you're a small site, you're trying to get yourself out there, the customer is 150% right every time. Like the player, any Skype message that you would get, that I would get during the tournament, I would automatically assume that it has to deal with the tournament. If you're putting on a tournament and you have Skype as a contact resource for the people playing in the tournament, you have to assume that any Skype you get is from a team in that tournament. You can't just shrug it off and be like, he didn't tell me he was in the tournament. You can't do that, especially if you're a small site like this. About the only people that can piss people off and still be successful is Game Battles, because they've been around forever. That's the only site that still pisses people off, but people still flock to them. It's amazing. But I just want to get that little tidbit out there, because I have experience in this. I know what it is to run a tournament. And this was, how many teams were in this 2v2 tournament?
The whole entire tournament was filled.
How many teams?
I believe I believe the whole tournament was supposed to be 64 teams, and out of those 64 teams, probably only 10 played.
Wow.
Well, if you look at our side of the bracket before we played their team, like they were set up against us, and then the same side of the bracket right next to us, the next round was a bye. Both teams were not there. It was a bye. It's like they set them up for an easy bracket hop.
That's initially why we were upset, is because we felt they had rigged their own tournament. I mean, if you look at it, it just seems extremely suspicious that they don't reply to anything we send to them. They send a tweet immediately after we tweet them, and they don't reply to it or anything, and then they move their team on without doing any sort of contacting us, period, asking for any proof. That's just what we found. And then, they said on the forum posts, and we respected what they said. They said that, they didn't, and because we had seen a bracket that suggested their team had won. That was actually from a previous tournament. We didn't know. But moving on from that is when we look back at the bracket, it was another... I honestly don't know who brought us the bracket. I can't remember his name. It was on Twitter. Anyways, he was a random pub star. In fact, he's just getting into competitive. I think that was his first tournament ever with his friend. And he showed us the bracket, and every single team they had to play up until semifinals had one person on their roster, which means it was an automatic bye. And then everyone else in the tournament had two people on their roster. And even though they didn't play, they had two people on their roster, meaning they were expected to play. Roster.
Didn't you say in that post that you only had one person on your team, though?
We had one person on our team, which was Redline, up until 48 hours before the tournament was supposed to start. And they made the brackets about a week before it was supposed to start. They made the brackets before all the teams were even signed up. And they just kept on adding people to the bracket. And they allow people to add people to the roster even in the middle of a tournament. I don't know why they do that, but you can actually edit your roster in the middle of a tournament. Anyways, we had thought we had added each other to the correct team, but he had actually added me to the wrong team, which was for a 4v4 Black Ops event. So he quickly added me onto this bracket, or onto the team. So they had put us on the bracket on that side with one person on the roster, and it's just by chance that we were able to get on. I was able to get on the roster for two people to be able to play it.
I forgot what I was.
He was eligible. He just kind of put his foot in his mouth. But
I mean, yeah, I was eligible. That's their rules. Is that in the middle of a tournament you can edit and have anybody play no matter what.
Really?
Which by itself is a horrible rule. Yes.
No, they didn't have that full rule. That was just because that other weekend they had set the time for like 7 p.m. because it's supposed to be a Venom Grips tournament. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about Venom Grips. What? They set it for 7 p.m. Yeah, so Venom Grips sponsored tournament.
What?
And then they decided to not do Venom Grips and go with some other company. And when they changed it out, they changed the time. So that's why they were allowing in-middle bracket changes, because everyone thought it was going to be 7 p.m. instead of 4 p.m. or whatever.
But don't ever type Venom Grips in the Weekly Rant chat box, please. I'll ban you. What I wanted to ask, I saw in the, page fucking 343 that, were you banned from the site?
Yeah. Yes, we were immediately banned after we posted fraudulence that night. Immediately banned and blocked on Twitter. They did. That was before they even asked for proof. They asked for proof the next day on Sunday. They banned us on their Twitter on Saturday, or blocked us on our Twitter on Saturday and banned us from their site that night.
All right. Well, I'm actually hearing from the owner that you guys are not banned right now, so you might want to.
We are unbanned from their site. They unbanned us because they wanted us to talk on their forums instead of the TheWRant forums.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was like, okay, we already have like 7 pages on this forum thread. And so you're going to go and try and post on your forums, and everyone's already on this forum. I didn't understand that myself. Yeah. But moving on from this, it's not right for a site to ban someone just because they might have been bashing your site. But honestly, if any other site banned every player that said something bad about their site, there would be nobody on the site.
Game battles wouldn't exist.
Well, I mean, I hate using game battles as an example, but like game battles would have like 2 players if they banned if they banned everybody that said something bad about the site. So it's not the right thing to do at all. It would have been better for you to contact each other personally and settle the dispute. That would have been the best bet to do instead of going to Twitter or anything like that off the bat. But it did end up on Twitter, and it did get brought to my attention, so of course I wanted to find out what was going on. I'm a nosy son of a bitch, so I found out what's going on, and now we're here. You guys have anything else you want to bring up on this matter?
There's so much we could say. It would just waste hours of your time about this.
Well,
I think we said all the major things that need...
So here's the big question. Here's the big question. Will you be competing in any more of their tournaments?
That's unknown. The main thing we were trying to get accomplished on the site was a formal apology, and so that they understood what they did wrong, so they wouldn't do it again. If
so you're trying to offer some constructive criticism. It wasn't out to bash them.
That's what we're trying to handle this as. Is like, you know, all we're looking for is apology. I mean, we're not trying to get the $100 we were cheated out of or free entry into their tournaments. All we were asking for is an apology, and so that they would take our constructive criticism. You know, I mean, if they would have apologized, like tonight, if he would have been on the show and apologized right now, you know, a formal apology and understood that what they did was wrong, of course I would play under
you. He's coming on after you guys, so.
Absolutely, I wouldn't, I would play on their side again. If they understood and they didn't do it again, I would absolutely play on their website and support them because they understand what they did wrong. I mean, it's just like NJ Rod. He came on here, and he was extremely defensive, and ultimately he broke down, admitted a formal apology, took your guys' constructive criticism, and even though his reputation is still ruined quite a bit, you know, the community will support him ever so slightly, that being.
Right. People live there.
All right, well, you guys came on. You gave a good, I had to read your month-long post, but it was good. Oh my god. Anybody in here scroll through these posts? I mean, honestly. What they got?
How many views it had? I don't know. What was it at?
It was almost at 800 and something, I think.
That thread got 800 views?
What yeah, you guys got some activity on your site.
Well, I mean, it had 73 total messages on there, 835 views just on that one thread.
That's our biggest thread so far, so thank you. Is there anything else you guys want to say before I get you out of here and we bring in the actual owner of the site? Is he ready?
Nothing.
Jeremy?
Huh?
Is he ready?
Yes, he is.
Alright, cool.
Nothing really to say besides the only thing we're looking for is an apology. We're not looking for anything more or anything less. A formal apology in that you understand what you did wrong and that you won't do it again.
All right.
Well, thanks.
If anybody's interested in following you guys or whatever, or knowing what you're doing, where can they get a hold of you guys at?
Redline's Twitter is ds_redline, and my Twitter is ImPactz with an underscore at the end.
All right. I guess he does all the talking for me.
I mean, do you have anything to say, Redline?
Nah. Thank you for having us on.
Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you.
And I'm glad that we got 800 extra views on the post on your website.
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for coming on and giving us the opportunity to kind of get this out there and for people to understand it a little bit better.
Alrighty.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
No problem.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Jeremy, invite him in here.
It's interesting. I'm ready to hear the other side of this and kind of have the full story.
Yeah, it's been interesting going back and forth with it and talking to them and the owner of Gamers.net. So I'm actually quite curious as to what he has to say on their messages. And I actually he did send me over Skype. He sent me the tweets the Etch had sent out as well as a picture of the bracket, which I had to crop and put on PhotoBucket. So I have all that ready.
Oh, please, you act like you do a shitload.
Oh, I always do a lot.
Alright, man,
always
what is
working.
up? What's
up?
Should I call you Izzy? Is that what I should call
Yeah,
you?
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Izzy, what's up, man? Thanks for coming on the show.
No problem.
All right, so we just heard the side of Redline and ImPactz. I don't know if you were watching or anything. You might have been. You might have heard what they had to say. But now it's your turn to give Gamers.net side of the story.
Okay. Well, first of all, we're a ladder and tournament a new ladder and tournament site. Not really looking to. I created the site for the community, so just one by them trying to say that we rigged the tournament just confused me because the site was made for the community just so people can have fun. As you guys said, it's a free tournament. I gave it my own money. I had no intentions of rigging the tournament at all. There's a few things that he was saying throughout the. Well, there was a few things he was saying that kind of, I guess confused me. He was talking about. I'll attack the bracket situation first. He was talking about how we rigged the tournament with the brackets. The brackets set up automatically once the tournament is full. I have the choice to delete certain teams that don't have full members on their teams, and then after that, the brackets just automatically create themselves, and it randomly puts teams against each other. So it was just by luck that they were against the Avenged team. So that's that. I also sent you guys what he talked about with the Twitter post about Etch's team not being on the day of the tournament. That was the day. Etch's anniversary was the day after the tournament, the 4th. I already sent that picture to Jeremy, and he has that, and he has the brackets.
Well, I don't think the problem was them not. I mean, they might have been around, but the problem was that they weren't responding to anything. They were sending messages and stuff. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, and on the rules we have, since we're a new site, we only had 3 staff members that were on that day, so we don't have enough staff members to be able to go on Twitter and monitor that the entire time. We were focusing all our time on 2 staff members were actually in the games, spectating for anyone who had issues, and I was on the Skype. We appear offline because the gamers' Skype is used for various things. We were doing scrims during the week where they would scrim our sponsored team and we'd live stream it. And there's teams that contact us. There's a few teams that contact us to scrim our team on the live stream. And honestly, when I received their Skype message, I assumed that's what they're asking. And that's why in the rules I stated that they need to specify that they're actually participating in the tournament. I don't know of Redline. When I went back to the Skype chat, I seen that he participated in the previous tournament and their team name was SLG Unit, which you can get their current team name is The Unit on the new tournament. And
okay. Well, you kind of just contradicted yourself right there though, because you said in the forums that you had to go back and look for the Skype and that you never got it during the tournament, and now you just said that you got it right away. And,
no.
Just from running a very large scale online tournament with CEA with 256 teams in it. I mean, you have to. I understand rules and all that stuff, but when you're starting up, and a rule like that is not that big of a deal. I mean, rules like the ban weapons, ban kill streaks, ban that shit. Those are big deals that you forfeit teams for, but. If you get a message on Skype and you have a tournament in the process, like going on right now, you have to assume that any Skype message you get is for that tournament. I mean,
right.
You know your team's playing in it too. I'm sure you did. You just have to assume, and I'm sure you've learned that now, and that's fine. And it's great. This is a learning process. You're new to the community. I don't know if did you play? Did you play competitive or anything, or you just like gaming?
Oh, before, yeah, I did.
Oh,
before I used to play Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
But yeah, I definitely learned a lot from this tournament. I did learn that I should respond to all messages that we got on Skype, and I would like to apologize for that. But the main reason why they got disqualified, it had nothing to do with we gave our team a win, because the very next round they got knocked out. They don't play Black Ops, and like I said, the site was created for the community. I had no intentions at all of trying to give them a bye. It's just the rule that I had set up was there just so I know the teams that participated. We had 33 teams that actually had full rosters and were signed up to the tournament. In the end, like 20 to 25 of them played, and that's what the rule is there for, so I know whether or not they're here. I didn't answer their Skype message that just asked if our sponsor team was online. I didn't know that what team he was a part of until after these forum posts, and I went back through the Skypes and looked at the past 3 months. I've clicked the past 7 days. I mean, thing on Skype where you could see previous messages you guys had. And I seen that he checked in the first tournament the correct way. He said, "Hey, I'm part of SLG unit. My teammates Redline. We're here for the tournament. Let us know when you guys are ready." So that's the way that I had it set up. That I asked people to contact us by. And this tournament, I honestly didn't know that he was a part of the unit. If I would have, then this whole situation would have been handled a lot better. That's bad communication on both of our parts, but I mean, I understand that I'm trying to be a new up-and-coming tournament site, so it lands more on me. So, like I said, I'd like to apologize for that. Throughout the forum, I did get a little heated and let my emotions get the best of me. One of the things that bugged me the most is that there are certain things that they said that just absolutely weren't true. And what bothered me about that is that I think it's Redlines hosts his own tournament, so I just seen it as he hosts his own tournaments with some site. I honestly forgot, but that it just seemed like they were just trying to bash the site just to get it down, just to get rid of some more competition. But yeah, I did.
Well, I mean, would that really make sense though? Like, if they're competing in this community and they're competing in your tournament, why would they want you guys to be gone?
Because I don't know. I just got really mad. It just bugged me a lot because some of the stuff they said was just absolutely not true. I don't know. The way I seen it was he ran his own tournaments, seen gamers as a competition. So he makes if we're gone as a little tournament site, then I don't know. It was dumb on my part.
Right.
While listening to the stream at the same time, I was going through the forum. And there was a few things that I found that were wrong, I guess. He was telling you in the beginning, well, when you read, the guy who's on the bottom left, I don't know who that is. I think it's Jared.
Yeah, it's Jared.
Jared, yeah. Yeah, you read the forum post, and he said that we contacted him a day after asking him for proof about the tournament, and then later on while you guys were talking, he said that we never contacted them asking for proof. We weren't on Twitter, like I said. Once I got on Twitter and I seen those posts that he sent, I asked him for proof because a lot of teams, they just get mad and say, oh, well, we won or the other teams didn't show. And what we asked for is proof to be able to clear up the situation. And I could have done something for them if they would have provided me with proof beforehand.
I remember they did say that when they had tweeted you, apparently your account tweeted something out like a minute or so after that. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just reiterating what they said.
Yeah, I heard that as well. I've been on Twitter. Like I said, during the live stream, I was checking everything that they're saying. I've been on Twitter, and I can't find any tweet that was right after. I know that we tweeted when the tournament was over, and then after that, I was just setting things up, contacting the teams that won, dispersing the prizes, and then after that, I mean, that took a while to contact them and get everyone's PayPal and just get all that done. Took a while, and then after that, I got off. But the next day, I got on Twitter and I responded and asked them for proof, and they never provided it, and then they just got mad and just started blowing up and saying that we're fraud and everything. When I tried to fix the situation the first time, I asked them for the proof, and then they decided to go to the forum and then just completely bash us and say that we never asked. But like you said in the beginning, you read the forum post. He said we tried contacting them the day after, and that's exactly what I did.
So I'm assuming since you did progress this other team on, that they did provide the proof that they were around and that they were there, and
what
did the teams know who was hosting? Yeah. Did
the way that we're doing it right now is just that we have an hour before the tournament starts for check-in. Any teams that did not check in, they automatically get disqualified. Avenge team contacted me, Edge's team contacted me and told me that they didn't show up, so I looked for their team. I asked them what team that they were playing against, and they said the unit. And I have had a paper written on my desk that had all the teams that checked in that said they were here, and if a team didn't check in during the first hour, then they were disqualified. And I didn't see their team name on the paper, so I disqualified them. Again, I learned from it, and now I understand that I should contact every person's Xbox Live. We tried that for the very first tournament that we hosted, and it didn't work out so good. We had 64 teams that joined. I tried contacting every single team leader's Xbox Live. I got nothing. A lot of them just didn't respond at all. And the very next day on Twitter, they said, "Oh, we never got contacted on Xbox Live, but I contacted the gamer tag they provided to our site." So I just found that this is a lot easier for teams to contact us if they're going to play in the tournament, to tell us that, "Hey, I'm here, I'm ready to go," and that's something that they didn't do. So that's what ultimately led to the disqualification.
We had someone contact.
I'm sorry. So
Go
essentially,
on, dude.
these teams can check in at the beginning of this tournament, and then up and disappear later, and then nothing will happen.
And do what? What did you say?
And then just up and disappear later on in the tournament, and nothing will happen.
In the rules. They
understand it a little better.
Okay. Basically the way I have it set up is that from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is check-in. Teams check in and tell us that they're here or whatever. The tournament matches start at 12. For most of them, they start at like 12 p.m. Pacific time. If the team has to show up within 15 minutes of their match, or they get disqualified. And we had no other issues. A lot of the teams showed up and played for those matches. But no, if they've checked in and then they're a no-show, they have 15 minutes to show up to the match, and then they get disqualified.
Okay, so back to my original question. Redline's team didn't provide the proof, but Etch's team did? Is that how it worked out, or did neither team provide proof? Because if that's the case, both of them should have been provided.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that last part.
I said, because, if both of the teams didn't provide the proof, then both of them should have been disqualified, am I right?
Like I said, the way that we have set up is if a team didn't check in, I check what teams checked in, the teams that said that they were here ready for the tournament, and that's why they were disqualified. I didn't see that they were here and ready for the tournament. They never contacted me the way they were supposed to, saying that they're part of the team, because I didn't know who Redline. Now I know who Redline is, whose team Redline is on. He's obviously a part of the unit, SLG unit, whatever they want to go by. But now I know of them. I didn't know anything about them. I didn't know who he was. So I didn't know that his team was the unit, and they did not check in. So basically, anyone who reports a no-show, I checked the list for anybody who showed up, who checked in. If they checked in, then I go ahead and go to the team, and I look up their Xbox Live gamer tag. I contact the leader and ask them, "Hey, you guys aren't showing up to your tournament. What's going on?" And they'll respond. But I didn't see him. He wasn't on the check-in list. He didn't check in at all. So I just automatically DQ'd him without asking for proof, which I should have asked for proof.
Okay.
But yeah, and their forum posts were edited multiple times. At first, they stated that the Avenged team won the entire tournament, I guess to get more traction. I'm not sure, but I can see if it's people being concerned about it being a rigged tournament if they got buyed all the way to the end of the tournament, and that's not what happened. The first team that they played against got DQ'd because they didn't check in. Second team they played against were there, they played and they lost. They didn't go on any further. No one got special treatment. They're just there just to play.
They did say that they got knocked out in third round in that post.
Yeah, they got knocked out the very next round. So I don't know. And there was no way. I didn't set up any teams against each other. Like I said, it's just a button I press that automatically sets the brackets, and it just randomly puts each team against each other, and it's all random. Nothing was rigged at all.
Okay, so hold on. Just let me clarify this for the people in the chat. So what you have going on is that a team will register for the tournament, and then the bracket will go up, and then I don't know what the time was, but like an hour or so before the tournament starts, they're supposed to check in with you to let you know that their team is there because you have no-shows. Is that essentially what you do?
Correct. The tournaments get created the day of the tournament, so let's say it was the second, the tournament will be created at midnight. The bracket will be created at midnight. It's not created a week beforehand. We delete all the teams at midnight and set up the bracket, and it's ready it's ready by the time most people wake up the morning of the tournament.
Okay, is it easily available for people to know? Is it posted somewhere? Do you tweet at the people? Is it on the front page of your site that they have to check in an hour before the tournament?
Yeah, it's on the rules page of every tournament. Those are I coded that into whenever we create a tournament, that automatically shows up, and I'll link link it in the chat right now. Hold on.
Because you should have that in giant.
We have a guy in the chat that brings up a pretty decent point. He said before that he automatically does the bracketing so that he gets rid of the teams that aren't registered. So why was this team even in the final bracket in the first place?
Wait, I'm confused. What'd you say? The teams that aren't even registered?
Yeah, you said you go through and you have all the registered teams, and then you make the bracket, right?
No, I go through and I delete every team that only has one member on the team. Check-in
Okay.
isn't required to the day. Yeah, I delete every tournament, every team that only has one member on the team.
Okay, that's what I was confused about.
Yeah, and then I noticed that some person in the chat asked for proof or whatever about the brackets being auto set up. I don't know if you guys want that, but I can provide a screenshot if needed. But yeah, everything's auto set up. Nothing was rigged. Everything was just nothing was rigged. That's just what bothered me the most, I guess. I'm trying to look
Where
for
does
something.
it say that you have to report an hour before the tournament?
The check-in?
Yeah.
I did. Hold on, I think I provided you the Black Ops 2 one.
Yeah, you did. I don't.
Damn it, and I did. Wow.
So you have no teams that join are expected to show up at a specified start time. There's cheating, rosters, support, other.
I'm trying to look for because it's specific to the game, so I'm trying to look for the rules page for the Black Ops 2v2. But before I forget, really quick, what was the things? Oh, about Venom Grips when you guys were bashing them. I guess we had no idea that how bad they were. As soon as we were hosting a tournament for them, that's when everything popped up, and I asked the owner of Venom Grips about it, and his response was just basically everything that everyone was saying. So that's why we ultimately dropped them, and then Trippin Mods decided to pick up the tournament for us, which was really cool. But yeah, we had no idea that they were.
Don't work with Venom Grips.
Yeah, I didn't have any idea. I stopped gaming about a year ago because of college, and I learned coding to create the site, and then now I'm just getting back into it just to play for fun. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I have here is the Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 2, Black Ops 2. You have that.
Yeah.
44 variant. But I would assume that the rules would be the same on every one of your tournaments no matter what. And I've read through this, and I don't see anywhere where it says you have to report an hour before the tournament starts.
Yeah, I just realized that that's actually created for each individual tournament, and they are different because sometimes the first tournament that we ever hosted, one was for League. The tournament start time wasn't at 12 Pacific time. It was at a different time because I wasn't going to be able.
That's a totally different game.
Wait,
though.
but here's the thing, though.
No,
Izzy, hold on. Because you just completely contradicted what you said, though. Because you said you had a script wrote up already that would automatically put that in for each one. So,
right, and I just realized that the times are different for each, and then I put that in manually, and I did.
But it doesn't matter about the times. You would have something here that says you need to report an hour or so before.
Yeah, and
I mean, even in this, you have nothing in here that says you need to report before the tournament starts to make sure your team is there.
Yeah, I got confused. I entered that manually for each tournament, and it's not there for you guys to see. It was there for the Black Ops 2, but I can't find it.
That's kind of sketchy. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Well, you gotta admit, from my viewpoint, you sent this leak. You're the one that sent this link and said that it's in here, and it is not here. So either you thought I wouldn't read it, and you thought you'd get by, or
obviously all proof that I'm gonna submit right now, you're gonna read over the live stream. I really just thought that I had it there, and I just realized that the times that I put in, that the check-in thing is there. And it says for the specific time. It'll say you're required to check in at 11 a.m. an hour before the tournament, so that we know that you're there. And that is something I manually put in, and I deleted the bracket about 2 days ago, so the rules got deleted with it. So I know that you're gonna assume that that's gonna be something sketchy, but I mean honestly, that's
but
one.
This is the thing. You don't announce it. You need to announce that when the teams sign up for it. It's not something you manually put in the day of the tournament, because there are a lot of teams that are doing other stuff that day, or they're at work, or they're doing something else with the family, and they have a set time that they know the tournament starts. So they will show up for that time. unless you
Right.
physically tweet every player that's in the tournament saying that they need to register with you an hour before the tournament to make sure they are there, then you are totally liable for anything that would happen. Like this instance right here, they might have shown up the time that an actual match was supposed to start, instead of knowing that they had to register an hour before because they weren't on the site until the match start time. Like, that's something you have to announce. You have to put it in big, bold letters. You have to have it at the top of the rules list. You have to have a link saying, click here now, something to get the attention of the players to know prior, like, whenever they register
as they're signing up.
Yeah, as they're signing up, that you have to contact me an hour before the tournament, because there's nothing in these rules here that says it. I understand you might manually enter it, but it has to be more readily available for these people to know.
Right. The tournament rules that I put them up at least a week or two before. Like right now, the Black Ops 2 rules aren't there, but no, I agree. I need to make sure that it's actually there for every tournament. I'm gonna actually add it into each rule so that whenever the tournaments are generated, so that's better. Right now, someone Jeremy. I'm not sure who that is exactly. But they had one. What was the question that you had for me, Jeremy?
That wasn't my question. It was Boss Silly in chat posted that he wanted me to ask it, but I'm trying to figure out how to word it to make it sound somewhat English language.
I don't remember us saying anything about this.
I don't know. I think at this point we're just kind of running around in circles with it, though. It's getting a little dry. I mean, the most we could really do is just kind of give you some advice on what you could possibly do for the future. Obviously, if they had gotten through with one person on their roster and they made it through to the bracketing system, and you were talking about checking in and they didn't check in, but they were still on the bracket. It's going to fall back on you, but. These are things you learn from.
Yeah. What I've been trying to do is I have written down that I was talking to Jeremy while you guys were on the live stream, and I'm trying to discuss each one of them so I can, respond to what they said, and I'm just getting, when you guys are asking questions, I'm trying to read this at the same time, and I was getting confused, and we are running around. But no, plain and simple, it wasn't rigged. Everything is randomly set up. They didn't check in. That's what ultimately led to the disqualification. I should have talked to them. I agree. I should have responded to their message on Skype. I attempted to make amends by contacting them the very next day, asking them to provide proof, because if they did provide proof, I would have at least given each of them $25, because that's just to, make amends for what actually happened. But as soon as I asked them for proof, I guess they got mad and started calling us out and calling us frauds. Well, that's absolutely not true. They did have both members on their team when the tournament started. I didn't have to enter them in manually. They had that automatically. No one's allowed to edit roster mid-tournament. No one's allowed to edit gamer tags mid-tournament. It's actually in the script where if you try to go, it gives you an error and says you're in a tournament, you can't do it. I'm basically just trying to prove that it's not. Nothing was intentional. Nothing was fraudulent. Everything was random. All the brackets were randomized, and they got disqualified because they didn't check in. But I should have contacted them before.
All right. Who is Hyperlight? He's one of your staff members, correct?
Correct. He's the site manager. Well,
right.
He's the Call of Duty site manager. And
all right. Your site manager posted on our forums, and then he deleted this post. No one besides the forum admin can actually read the post. I wanted to read it off for people because I think as someone who's part of your staff, it was very disrespectful to a lot of people. But he says, if a team fails to check in the future, the outcome will most likely be the same. The Weekly Rant wants commotion, obviously, but we handled this the best way we could. All others having issues got their issues resolved either because they checked in or contacted us through our flawless ticket system. And he actually did quote and say it is a flawless ticket system, which I disproved using a piece of crap laptop. The only thing that has come from this entire discussion is 2 people who won't participate in our future tournaments for trying to slander our name. I have bigger things to worry about, so on behalf of gamers, this is my final post. If ICJ wants to continue this discussion, that's up to him, but the success of our company will not fall back on this, and as of today, we have to keep moving forward. To the participants, I advise you all to read the tournament rules thoroughly on future sites you play on. And, you know, that's the gist of what he was saying, but, you know, he's pretty much speaking for you and the entire thing, saying that, you know, this is a flawless system. These people aren't going to play because they're slandering our name, but you said you want them to come back and play. So
right, the reason why it was deleted because I talked to him and told him that there's no way I'm going to ban them for having an issue with the tournament. If they just it had to get a lot worse for me to actually ban them. No one's allowed to ban them but me because if I'm going to ban someone, they're going to be banned through the server. They're not going to be banned through the script. But I didn't ban them. That's why I had him delete it, just because I realized that just wasn't the right thing to say, and I already talked to him about it, and that's why it was deleted. But yeah, they're not getting any I mean, they're concerned with the tournament and how it was working, so it's nothing to get mad and remove them from the site about. I hope that they participate in future tournaments. This was just miscommunications on both ends. It does fall back on me more because I'm the tournament organizer, but in the end, it was miscommunication.
All right, I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, and one of the I guess Esports Nation, the guy in the chat, said that it's an EGL script and it's a piece of shit. It's been heavily modified and upgraded, and it works a lot better than the EGL script. It's nothing like it. The only bug that I've seen is the one that Jeremy did tell me about, which was a ticket system, which I still need you to help me with that to see where the bug's at. But apparently he tried to submit a ticket through his laptop, and he wasn't able to submit one. So, yeah, that's, again, our fault. I'll have that fixed, but I will be adding in a live support mod so that teams don't have to add us on Skype, and so we don't have this ordeal all over again.
All right, well, I think we've ran this into the ground. It's good to know that you learned your lesson from it. I already knew that was going to happen. This did get blown out of proportion. Way too much, it did. But why not? I mean, you gotta learn your lesson. Might as well learn it the hard way, right?
Right. Well, the one thing that bothered
you.
me the one thing that bothered me, which I don't understand, is from the beginning I tried to contact them and ask them for proof to make amends, and throughout the forum posts, the majority of them said that we did not attempt to make it right, and etc. And I noticed that the forum post was edited today to actually include that we tried to contact them. And they just continued to go on like that. If I'm trying to contact you to make amends and make sure that everything went well, and I ask you for proof, why would you get mad, blow up, and just go on and on the forum and just, I guess, slander the Gamers.net site? I mean, I don't know. That's one of the things that bothered me that I didn't understand. I try to make amends and make things right, and instead they decided to just go and I guess blow up on the forum.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we have our forums there for, though, to blow off some steam and get their issues out there so people like you, I mean, you don't make this mistake again. I mean, you're a new site. You're only, a month or two old probably. So, I mean,
right.
learn your lessons quick. You're always learning every day. You're trying new things. Just keep doing what you're doing. I'm sure everyone who plays in your tournaments appreciates it. And, I mean, I guess, I don't know. Is there anything else, Brian, you want to say?
No, I mean, we've pretty much run it into the ground. It's become pretty dry. Like I said, just take it as constructive criticism, man, and we're not out to bash you or anything, just trying to help you out, man. Like, the more outlets there are for people to win money or compete or whatever is good.
Right.
All right, Mel, I just want to say thanks for coming on. Give your site a shout-out, your Twitter. I don't know. I know your Twitter. The Twitter's at Gamers, Gamrs net, at Gamersnet. Their site is gamers.net. Go check it out. It's a good-looking site, I'll say that, just from looking at it right now. I'm guessing you guys run tournaments on a weekly basis?
We're attempting to, yes.
Attempting to? Okay, well,
Yeah.
go check them out. It's free tournaments. If you're bored or something, want to play in a tournament and competitive play, go check them out. Thanks for coming on again, man. I know you got some family stuff to deal with, so.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
All right, have a good one, buddy.
All right.
Well, I don't know what to think about that.
I'm gonna try and get Ego in here or Karma.
I
Whoever
He said he
I
wanted
was
to
getting
come in
ready
here
to
right
pull
off
him
the
in.
bat. Fucking right when the show,
Yeah.
he's still in here. Get your
Yeah.
ass in here. Talk about your nerdy ass zombie action. I saw you tweet earlier about you and Karma grinding zombies already, checking the eggs. Yo, where's the chat at? Everyone tell Ego's ass to get in here.
I'm gonna try and get Holiday Doc as well. Be nice to hear from a few of these people
I already tweeted
that already have the.
He's watching the kids right now.
Hi, this better not hurt my zombie gameplay, man.
You're gonna fail, man. You're gonna fail.
Right now?
You
Hold
would.
on, both.
God.
You would be playing zombies right now.
I am playing zombies right now, and it's amazing. It's really
What is
honestly
it like?
like
Explain it.
it's interesting. I really like what they did. From it looks like it's just like it's kind of like I think 4 maps or 3 maps. I'm not really 3 or 4 maps kind of put into one big map. Like kind of where like you can choose to just play survival on any of those parts of the map, or like you could have the bus drive you around and go from it's kind of basically like map to map. It's pretty fun. I mean, I love it right now. It's awesome.
So, what's so new and innovative about this that's going to make everybody want to come out and get it?
Black Ops 2 or zombies?
Either or,
Zombies
both.
is Black Ops 2.
Let's
go.
I mean, like, I don't. To me, it's not like there's anything that's like. I was gonna say it's not that there's anything that stands out that's that much better. There's just lots of little things that are improved and like have solutions for them. It's just, to me, it's a better version of like a Black Ops Psycho. It's almost a better version of like a combination of. A lot of people say like feels like MW2 a little bit. Carmen, do you agree with that? It's like to me, it's like a combination of MW2 and Black Ops. Carmen says it feels.
How smooth is the guns and the bullet? Well, I mean, I guess you haven't played online yet. Server.
You can't. You don't really know about any of that, but the ray gun is very smooth.
No, I've heard from a few different people that have the game already that the graphic enhancements are just amazing.
It does look nicer. It looks like cleaner. It looks like there's more color.
Well, I know Fwiz tweeted out earlier, freaking saying this is hands down the greatest COD ever made, or some shit like that.
I agree with that, but like. I don't know. Like every single Call of Duty before had major issues in one way or another, in my opinion.
Right. Have you come across any of those issues so far as you've been playing it?
I don't really know the rules on what I can and can't talk about, so stop me if I'm saying.
Well, I mean, we're not associated with Activision and everything, and obviously people are going to have the game early, and they know that, but we're not streaming the game early.
Yeah,
we're just essentially talking about it, and people are already doing that on YouTube and everything. So I think you're in the safe.
A lot of people are taught. I've seen a lot of stuff about class combinations. The things that worry me the most, like there are a lot of. I honestly can say I have from the aspect I need to look at it as like from a competitive gaming, as from Icon standpoint. There are things that worry me because I know that we need to make everything league play has to be like what we base everything off of, and there has to just be that standard, where we're on the same page. It can't be two different games. It can't, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like there's just a lot of things that I see that people, and no matter what, I think people are going to always have something to complain about. You have to just know that offhand. But there are things that like really raise questions to me, even before just playing it. Things like tactical insertions, grenade launchers, rocket launchers, score streaks. Those are those are all things that really like until we see League play, we won't know about for sure.
Yeah,
now that you have the game and Frag Cup 4 is so early after the release of Black Ops 2, are you starting to formulate any ideas of what?
Well, that's what's big to me is like I contacted Fizz about that today, and like that's probably the most important thing to me is like I really want to make sure everything is on the same page with that when we can make everybody happy. What? I'm on regular. And Carmen asked me what I was playing on. You could play on zombies on easy or on like regular. Like
there's different levels to it now too, different difficulties.
Yeah, zombies is its own like entity now. Like
there's definitely a lot of customization everywhere in so many different aspects. I love.
What's new? What's new to zombies now, other than just the difficulties? Like, what specific stuff can you do in the game that you couldn't do before?
It's hard to really like. I haven't really gotten like anywhere special. Like I'm
Come
only.
on, Ego, you're grinding zombies all day.
I just got it at like 5:00, and I have been grinding zombies, but there's. It's just a very in-depth. I always was really in-depth with zombies. I love the story of it. I love all the Easter eggs, and it seems like there's just like so much you can do on this one. Like I said before, every single you can play like transit where you go from map to map, and every spot basically has kind of its own little puzzle also. Like, is that right, Karma?
Do you have to like solve the puzzle or get through the maze or something to move on to the next map?
No, not really. It just helps you out. Like on the first part, you get like a fan that like helps supply power, and like on the I don't want to really like ruin it, but
right.
So I'm not gonna. I want people to be able to see on their own. But yeah, each section there's kind of like different places where you kind of have like side quests to do. It's definitely more of like a zombie campaign. What am I looking for, Karma?
Too soon, Jeff. Way too soon, Jeff.
Okay, let's kind of veer away from the zombies for a second here. Vaughn said that there are certain things that are going to be restricted in the League Play playlist. Now, I saw Scumpy tweet out earlier about, hey, I'm down for using score streaks in the game in our competitive playlist and everything, and he kind of got some shit about it. I mean, what's your stance on it? Like, do you think it's going to be a good thing? Do you think it's going to promote camping? I mean, from what I understand, you can't go on those huge kill streaks, especially in competitive.
It's hard to tell. I really haven't like seen all the kill streaks, like how they actually play out. But like from what I've seen video wise, and from some of the kill streaks I've seen, they look very, very overpowered. And I want to make Vaughn happy, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want there to be kill streaks. I want his game to be played competitively. I don't want to make changes. I don't want there to be two different. I don't want there to be competitive Call of Duty and pub Call of Duty. You know, I want to be on the same page. I want to have as many people enjoy it as possible. But there's some things that like I just don't see how they could work. Really,
right?
Like,
right, which is why I'm sure he said that. Which is why I'm sure he said that certain things will be banned.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't Hastro over there in Von's ear? I mean, he's a competitive player himself. I mean, he has to have seen some of this stuff and be like, "Yo, Von, that's not going to work." I mean, something like that.
That's pretty much what everyone is relying on, and it should be fine. You know, we have to have faith in them to know that. I mean, you think if we know it, they know it, I guess, right?
I guess. I don't know. I know I tried to get Hastro on here, and he said, "Nah, some other time." I was like, man.
Yeah,
I still think it's a little early. I still think their NDA is still effective. So hopefully, once the game is closer to release or on release, we can have them come on and talk about it a little bit more.
Well, I just know they better make sure their servers hold up, because I'm fucking going to midnight release, and I swear if I come home and I can't fucking get online to play the game, I'm gonna rage. Because that happens for every COD, man. I swear.
It happens to every game, period. Really, like,
I know.
It happened for Halo. It was awful.
God, dude, it just pisses me off. You come home, you want to play the game, then you end up playing the campaign for 5 hours.
Yep.
Which you were terrible at, Jared, just saying.
Dude, I could not kill that fucking Wraith, dude. That's pissing me off.
You used all your ammo on the little guys instead of shooting the guy that was the gunner on the Wraith like you should have.
That guy wasn't the one killing me. It was the fuckers behind. Anyway, why are we talking about this? God, back to fucking... anything else in Black Ops 2 that you've seen? I mean, have you even played, have you guys played Private Match at all? I'm assuming you have. Probably haven't you?
We've just played combat training.
You haven't actually gone into Private Match and messed around with that stuff yet?
Is there LAN?
There's no servers, and right now, I had to pay $300 for a copy on Xbox. I only have one on Xbox and one on PS3.
You paid $300 for that?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? Talk about inflation. Holy shit.
You just bought that guy fucking 5 copies of the game.
So Karma's playing on PS3, so we haven't tried to LAN or anything, but
well, I mean, is the LAN option there?
Yeah.
Have you gone into it? Have you looked and seen if everything's unlocked? Or I'm assuming it is, just because.
I didn't really look. I just assumed that, but I'll check it out. I can't do it right now. But
assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups, Ego. There's one thing I've learned in the 2 months that this show has gone on, is that assumptions are the mother of all fuck-ups, especially in the COD community.
You mean the 5 months that the show has been going on?
Has it really been 5 months? No one
Just about. It's November.
It's been a while, dude.
It has not been 5 months.
4 months. Almost 5 months.
That's Karma typing in the chat of my name, by the way. I'm not an idiot. Well, I am, but he's a crazy idiot.
Okay, so
can
talk
about
the
guns some? I guess if I can, I don't even know. But what I did get to do in combat training was spiel out some of the maps. Liked some, didn't like some. Some of them are just a little crazy. Like there's the maps are definitely very detailed and seem like. Karma says they're not as bad as Halo. I agree. Halo's maps are awful, but they're not. They didn't seem. There was nothing that really stood out. But it's really kind of hard to tell playing combat training free for all. But Meltdown was definitely my favorite map to play. I got 400 kills playing free for all until I realized I was on that map forever. But a lot of the guns.
Someone just posted in the chat. Hastro said for the first MLG event for Black Ops 2, Dead Silence will be banned. I don't know if that's a troll or not, because I have been off Twitter for a while now.
That's gotta
be a troll of all time. Yeah, that's the dumbest shit ever.
That's a troll. I mean, it hasn't even been announced if MLG's picking it up. There's something that I saw Lady Insanity kind of subtweeting, or not subtweeting, but paraphrasing what Vaughn was saying during his interviews today during the streams about Black Ops 2, is that they know the other guy, which is I'm assuming it's MLG, but they're still going to be taking care of us. So that leads me to believe that they're going along the route of Riot and providing some tournaments themselves.
What's up?
Hi. we're talking about Black Ops 2, and he mentioned your name, and I figured you had some wisdom and knowledge to add to my comedic idiocracy.
Oh, hey there, Ashley.
I thought you dragged me in because you were talking about me. I'm like, oh shit.
Now I saw you. Now that you're in here, anyhow, I saw you earlier. You were kind of giving ideas of what Vaughn was talking about during the streams and the interviews.
Yeah,
and
I was
he said
paraphrasing most of the things that you said.
Yeah, and he said something along the lines of they know the other guy, which I'm assuming is MLG, and that we would be taken care of anyhow, even whatever the circumstance. So that leads me to believe that they're going to be providing tournaments, perhaps?
Okay, so here's the gist of what was said, like, that came out of Vaughn's mouth. Okay, so he basically said that we're quite well aware of MLG. We have a relationship with them. That being said, what their current concern right now is making sure that the game is in everyone's hand on the 13th, and that is taken care of. Now, he also said that because of that, after what happened, after it comes out, they're going to be taking care of us, which is his. I forget what the exact phrasing was, but he basically said that that we're actually going to be sick of him by the time, it comes to that point whenever Treyarch is going to be so, balls deep into the community. So.
Okay.
Balls deep. Balls deep. Immediately. A girl just said balls deep, first of all. Ring the bell.
Hey.
We should get a bell.
Ding ding.
Oh, and as far as the tournaments and all that, Vaughn was really floaty about it. He didn't say anything like, "Oh, I don't want to ruin it."
Hold on. Could you please define floaty?
Floaty, as in he's not going to say it straight. Like he's going to say yes or no. That's what I meant.
I don't want to say this, but I've actually had people, friends who are on my team and whatever, hit me up and ask about stuff concerning, supposedly another Codex piece, supposedly. But that just would be really weird after the release, but it would make sense if it was put on by Treyarch, because they just got a fat check from that game selling. But I'm just talking out of my ass, so I don't really know. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, Prof, I can't say anything. So.
Yeah, I know you can't say anything. You're right along there with that NDA, so yep. I don't want to say anything that's going to be putting you in jeopardy.
This is the safe circle. It's okay.
Yes, the safe circle until everybody in this chat starts talking about it.
You stay in here until I take the stream down. We'll have a little private combo.
Ashley, you can tell me what I should not be saying, because I really have no idea at all. I'm just playing the game and putting my opinion out there.
You're just playing zombies with your $300 copy.
I went on. I would love to be able to talk about the guns. From what I've seen, there's 3 guns in particular. I won't even go into them, but they're all very similar in the fact that they're very powerful and they're burst guns. So I've seen a lot of one bursts and a lot of not very automatic ARs at all. And I can honestly see the game being dominated by that. 2 of them remind me too much of Type 95, to be honest. But there is a lot of variety from what I saw. In my opinion, there's 3 ARs and 3 SMGs that were all the same in a way. So it's really hard to pick one because they're all very similar. So I do think you'll see people just have personal preference for whatever reason, even though
I would love to go back to the COD 4 days where it was the M16 MP5.
No, I totally disagree. I like the idea of if it is like this, just from my first play at it, there is 3 different guns that are all very similar. At least you do have some variety, and this guy's using an M16, this guy's using an ACR, this guy's using a FAMAS, even though none of those guns are in the game. But compared to...
mother.
Now, I'm looking through your tweets, actually, and I'm seeing one here about league play. It says, League play, different than the other playlists. In quotes, an experience you'll be happy with network-wise. What's the cough?
Okay, you know what I should do? I should reference you to Ernest Lee's tweet about it.
Okay.
I think that'd be about the exact same subject.
Let's just reference tweets the rest of the show.
Does this have
No,
to do
no.
like the live streaming and League Play at all?
Yo,
No,
live streaming.
I'm talking about League
What
Play
is
and
that
networking.
shit? I want to talk
Yeah,
about
they
live
said.
streaming next.
Yeah, they said that live streaming. This is something they said is going to go to YouTube.
Yeah, that's some shit. Who's gonna watch? And it's in 360p too. That's what I heard also. That's the quality.
Well, I mean, he made a good point too. This is something that's being streamed off of a 7-year-old system.
Yeah, true.
That they're really pushing the limits with this. You're not only streaming it, it's encoding it and everything for you.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't do it on the typical 720p at 60 frames.
Right, but wasn't this idea originally brought up to kind of expand the viewership and grow Call of Duty in general? And I mean, why would you even? Why would you even do it if you're going to YouTube first of all, which not a lot of people like to go to watch streams, and second, it's in such poor quality, no one will be able to watch it.
People do watch a lot on YouTube and 360p.
Not streams though.
That's it.
Yeah, but that's because there are not that many streams. Look at the Red Bull stream. You saw the Red Bull guy jump from space. He had like 10 billion people.
Yo, he was jumping from space. Are you
Dude,
serious?
I could probably do that in Zombies so much easier and cost so much less money.
You're not going to get 1 billion viewers, though.
I was just going to say, basically, the reasoning behind it, from what I've gathered, is that having League Play with streaming is going to be a huge thing because it's forcing. One of the things that I think I'm allowed to say that the concept was making League Play a thing of its own, not just a single playlist, but having it as its own separate entity. So having it have streaming is kind of a holy shit, I want to try this out, I want to stream myself. So it's forcing all of the YouTube stars, all of the casuals, all the AMs, all the pros, if they don't have the streaming capabilities, just to go, hey, I'm going to stream on YouTube, go watch it. It's easier, and it's kind of condensing everything anyway.
Will it be able to be watched on the dashboard? I'm pretty confident we'll be able to be watching the dashboard. I know Twitch has an app they've announced that'll be on the dashboard. I don't know when. And like that's just the next level of TV and apps. It'll get there.
Yeah, Twitch is really.
I should have reworded that. My question is will there be like a League Play directory? How will people on the game be able to watch these live streams? Like, that's the most. I think that's
the thing that Vaughn talked about earlier today. It's really limited as far as like exposure. They say that they're going to have it so that whenever you click the button in order to actually stream, it's going to have it so that you have a link and you can share it. You can share it automatically through your social networks like Twitter and Facebook and all that. Also, it's supposed to do something with Elite. I'm not sure, but that's how they have it set up right now. But there's nothing as far as, hey, this is going to go straight like into your sub box. I haven't seen anything like that yet. I imagine that's going to be it, but.
I think it would be awesome if, like, somehow you could go on and spectate on the actual game of, like, those League Play matches that are going on without having to get off of Call of Duty.
Right.
That'd be insane, but that probably won't ever be possible.
Like streaming from the dashboard type deal.
It could be possible on Call of Duty Elite, though.
That's the thing. They had COD TV. That's what they're doing right now. But I know that is currently with like clips and stuff. But it's probably going to move into the actual live streaming thing. But they're having COD TV where you can actually like or share or whatever, thumbs up, thumbs down every single video that you come across. It's similar, I guess, to Elite, but I mean, it's dedicated towards it. I made a tweet about it earlier. Are you still on my feed, Prof? I put it out there.
Prophet, you still lurking the feed, man? You lurking that Chica's feed. What's good?
Oh, hold on. I gotta pull it up now.
Oh God.
Here's something else that he was talking about on the streams as well. Anything that you upload to your file share.
One of the zombies was like stretched out.
anything you can upload to your file share, he said, like video clip wise, you can upload it directly to YouTube from your Xbox, and that's actually really pretty cool.
Oh, here it is. COD TV.
That's why the stream quality is gonna be so downgraded though, because it's from the Xbox.
Well, he said the uploads to YouTube for the clips and stuff. You can even take multiple clips and compress them into one. He said that's going to be able to be uploaded in high quality.
Yeah, the stream won't be though.
Because
it's understandable though. Like some guy said, the League of Legends and shit like that, but everything in League of Legends is run on like all those gamers, like most of us gamers that have a computer that we actually game on are like $2,000 computers and shit like that. I mean, that those computers can run that shit efficiently, but you're trying to stream from an Xbox that's been out for how many years?
7 years.
Like,
that is going to be trash next year.
Hey, my Xbox looks and sounds like R2D2.
Which episode?
Okay, we found the tweet from you here. COD TV replay of videos right inside the game. It's like Netflix for COD. You can like, dislike, and share real-time updates. These are his words, right?
Yep. But he specifically said Netflix for COD, and he said that you can like, you can dislike it, you can share it amongst your friends, and that the best part about it is that they can do real-time updating. They don't have to put in a patch. It's just straight in. They can hotfix it right there.
Is there like in Netflix used to have where you could bring friends in and there's like little theater seats too?
I would actually dig that.
That would be
awesome.
That would be awesome.
Remember in Black Ops you could go into your theater with multiple people, but in Modern Warfare 3 you couldn't, right? Or they couldn't see it in like the normal view. It was awful.
Why did Netflix take that out?
I don't know. That shit was
That shit was awesome. Dude, you could do like little like signals and stuff while you're watching too with your avatar. That shit was fun. I miss that. That'd be badass anyways. But side note. Is there anything else anyone in here can say about Black Ops 2 without getting permabanned from it? Oh, God,
my question is, how are they going to use, like, they see, like, Bond wants the game to be out of the box competitive league play. How are you going to have, like, every game mode incorporated into that? Like, in a best of 3, you could play, like, 7 different game types. Is that really, like, how they want it to be?
I don't know.
Like, I'm trying to prepare for Frag Cup with stuff like this, and, like, this is all the stuff that I just I need to see league play, because, like, it just concerns when it comes to, like, I don't know, we're really going to have best of 3s where you could play any of 7 different game types from, like, because you're talking about, if you want everything included, like, you can't cut certain things out, even though TDM is 100% out, but, like, even still you have domination, demolition, kill confirmed, hard point, capture the flag, search and destroy, and I guess why... Isn't Hardpoint basically headquarters? I don't know why.
Hardpoint is essentially the Call of Duty version of Halo's King of the Hill.
What about aren't Fwiz and them playing the game? Like actually playing the game?
Fwiz had to get the game from someone else. He doesn't actually have it from Treyarch.
No, but
does anybody have the game from Treyarch?
A couple.
I'm sure a couple people do.
Yeah, that were involved internally. But
people who work at Treyarch.
No. I'm talking about like not like detached. Like what's the best way of putting it? Consultants. Yeah.
Oh, people like maybe you?
No, not me. No, my involvement was a long time ago.
What aren't you telling us?
No.
I won the search and destroy 1 minute rounds.
What?
Round win limit 6. That's what I'm going with.
1 minute rounds? That's gonna be crazy, yo. That's gonna be all SMG, freaking go.
But the game is to me comes off at first glance so far. It's definitely an AR dominated game with a lot with that select fire. There's lots of crazy combinations out there.
Yeah, that select fire changes some things.
interesting. You could have. I like what they did with like a lot of the different options. There's so many options for like everything. You can change and enable, disable, restrict.
Dude, Frag
like,
Cup is coming out so soon that there's still going to be players like debating what type of loadouts to have for their classes.
That's the best part, though.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people not knowing what to do using everything.
Yeah.
It's going to be really mixed.
It's not gonna be like Halo, where everybody had like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks to prepare for it, and win tournaments.
Bastards. Fucking shoot-offs. Oh, you got called out, Ego. 1 minute and 30, not 1 minute.
Yeah.
I mean, how are they gonna? What do you mean? What does that mean? 1 minute and 30. I was just saying it can be 1 minute. Like that's
no, Vaughn said 1:30.
Yeah, 1 minute 30 rounds.
Oh, but on combat training right here it says 1 minute. You can. I was just saying how short you could go to.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because in my opinion, like even a minute 30 is still it's still good. Anything's better than 3 minutes and 2.5. But in my opinion, it's about making it fast, not really just sitting back. I think Search and Destroy was so entertaining when it's fast. It's in my opinion as a player, it's hard for me to sit through MLG searches or my own tournament searches because it's just like really boring at times. It's only exciting when there's like
pressure for everyone to finish up.
Yeah, when there's actually when it's time for somebody to have to move.
Yeah.
The shorter rounds definitely gonna make it better.
Mm-hmm. Because no one wants to watch a freaking 3 minute of someone sitting in a corner and then all of a sudden getting up.
And I also think being able, like, when in Black Ops was played the 6 rounds, that was so much better than any time it was ever from COD 4. Any time before, and Modern Warfare 3 was 4 rounds to win. In my opinion, especially with the amount of teams that play Search only, like, when you play more rounds, it really shows who the actual better team is at Search when you're making adjustments in-game and having to consistently win rounds. Because I think, like, if you haven't played a team before, you can come out and beat anybody in 4 rounds, but to actually go out there and win, 6 or 7 rounds is a lot harder.
Mm-hmm. We got Holiday Doc up in here now, and this is coming from a commentator's point of view. And you got Black Ops 2. I saw you on it today. What do you think of it?
It's amazing. I love it so far, and that's just out of the box feel. The graphics look really good, even though there's just minor improvements. I think those minor improvements go quite a bit long as far as making the visual effects so much better. Sound, 100% better. The simple fact of turning the volume off, like, it just brings warmth to my heart to not have to sit there in a lobby.
Oh,
you
mean
turn your music
volume.
Yeah, lobby volume. You can turn vocals.
That in Black Ops too.
Well, not Modern Warfare 3. That's where I'm comparing.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Or Halo.
Cool things.
Have you played Halo?
Oh. Dude, I like Halo music though. I like that.
It kills
Halo.
I like that.
It's
music.
so loud.
I know,
so
it's
loud.
awesome. It's loud and it's ambiance. It's just like X-Files shit, dude. It's awesome.
No, I'm not down.
Ashley, do you think with zombies having like multiple teams or multiple like having 8 players or whatever, do you think that it could be competitive at all?
Oh, are you really good? Well, depends.
I mean, to be
like,
honest, I'd rather play a
that,
competitive zombies match than a regular competitive match in any game.
Yeah, but zombies, when it all gets through with it, it'll just be who can exploit whatever little difference.
Dude, it's still broken. I'm literally not playing
Karma
What is he raging about?
Yeah, but if you had 200 teams playing zombies, watching every 1 in 3 people rage the way Karma is raging right now because he keeps dying at like round 3. Just
what round have you gotten to by yourself?
I've only gotten to like round 8, and zombies is amazing.
What a nerd!
I actually feel bad because I'm gonna have to neglect zombies because I'm gonna be the first one to whatever the highest prestige is.
Oh man, there's a race. I know there's always a race.
There's always a race, and whoever
here's
always a race.
There's
Who
this thing about the
ended
race,
up
though.
winning the race? Who ended up winning the race last time?
Ernest Lee got it last year. But
Was it Ernest?
They were playing the game like 3 or 4 days early.
That's true.
That's the only reason I bought the game for as much as I did, because if the servers go up anytime before midnight when everyone else gets it, that's an advantage right there, because you're on, and that's all it is. It really is.
Yeah, which Vaughn actually said that it won't even start till that day, so I don't think it's going to start till probably 2, 3 a.m. On the 13th.
But it's still an advantage to be able to go on combat training and play, and when people are first starting on the first time they're on the map, I'm already spawn trapping people. That's not really.
Now
to be honest, I think
Karma was saying you were getting your ass kicked by bots. Now,
when was I getting my ass kicked by bots?
Oh damn!
Ego's gonna be an Iron League.
5-15 against bots. Let's go. But he's got them 3 flag caps though, man. It's okay.
I was playing free for all, and the bots were really easy. It was making me feel great. They were so. I felt like I was playing against Vonderhaar.
Oh,
I've never done that before, but I'm just saying he can't be that good.
So Doc, what have you played in Black Ops today? What have you been playing?
I've just gone through all the weapons and just perk combinations and stuff like that. Just looking through what's going to be exploited first, and there's so much to just even start talking about. The fact that you can go put your guns naked and grab 2 extra perks, that's huge. Or 3 attachments on your main weapon, making the semi-autos automatic. The last gun, the M8. Our second last gun, the M8 assault rifle, is a laser beam with tremendous power on it once you do certain things to it. And there's just so much to go through. That's all I've been doing.
I know, that's all I'm going to be doing too once I get home. Man, I can't wait for that game.
What's people's opinions on being able to sit rep type perk?
Well, on the 3rd slot, right? The sit rep. Are you talking about sit rep pro to make things louder?
Yeah. What do you think? You should be able to hear people with dead silence?
Yeah, you can, because if you double up on your 3rd perk, you can carry dead silence. And
are you talking competitive wise, Ego, or are you talking actual perk wise? What are you talking?
Yeah, I mean to me in league play, I don't know.
I think in league play
we're
it'll
starting.
be.
Doc, do you know that Frag Cup comes out starts 10 days after the release of the game? We've been kind of just talking about that, what are some plausible rule sets or some plausible bans for that, since it's coming out so soon. Ego's already trying to establish.
I don't want to ban anything, but when you think of when it's something like that, if everybody has awareness on, so all 8 people can just hear all 8 people on the map.
Yeah.
That's
if that's the case, then why even have dead silence?
I'll be crouching in a corner. Is that what you want to watch?
It's gonna be freaking Counter-Strike. What the hell?
It's gonna be fucking camp in a corner and listen sound whore your ass off.
Okay, so let's take the M8A1 for example. It's a 4-round burst semi-auto weapon. You throw select fire on it, fast mags, and reflex sights. That thing is twice as good as the ACR now. And the only thing you have to do differently is not carry a secondary, which, to me is you can pick up your first kill secondary anyways and not lose anything. You can still carry a grenade and you can still carry 1 tactical. So
I wasn't even using tacticals or grenades. Fuck that.
Really?
I mean, I don't know how good they are, and they are. I'm sure a standard competitor. There will always be that standard, no matter how good the balance is into having a lot of variety with the pick 10 system. There'll still always be some sort of semi-standard, and I do think you will see grenades and stuns used, but I do think you will see people that are kill whores a lot not using them at all.
Dude, I
agree.
I would for sure sacrifice a nade. I would have the stunts and stuff like that. I would still use those, but I would for sure sacrifice a nade for something else. That's one thing I would sacrifice is a nade.
I think the game's going to take a while to get used to really see what works, what doesn't. Ego, as a objective player, you're telling me you're not going to use, tactical grenades to
I'm
to
not
get in,
running
get
an
out?
objective in this game. This game is about to be like the 4 ARs. No, I mean, I haven't messed with the subs that much, and to be honest, I really don't want to play objective. But from an objective player standpoint, you definitely would have to be running stuns and stuff. I was just saying, people who are going to kill horror can sacrifice it. It's kind of like using sleight of hand instead of extreme conditioning type of feel from a kill horror standpoint. But as an objective player, you definitely still need them. They help you out way too much. And I haven't really got to mess with. I have messed with. I've used like probably 5 of the 6 subs, and to be honest, a lot of them feel very, very similar to each other. Nothing really stood out. They were all. There was none that, like, usually, you have like 1 or 2 subs that it's just like, that gun is awful, like a mini Uzi, or just something stands out. Like, none of them seem to have very much recoil, and none of them were like bad at all. But none of them were really like PP90 strong at all. There was like 3 different guns, like where I was like, do I have MP7 right now? Wait, no, what is that? No, that's not an MP7. But there's literally what felt like to me like 3 different MP7s. There's a burst SMG, which is a really interesting concept.
Well, that burst SMG, you can just make it full auto with the select file.
Yeah, you could, but you could do that. That's what's crazy about it. You just turned every gun, every AR, and every SMG can be full auto or burst. So it just adds so much, just such a different aspect into it.
For me, the submachine guns, I did see a lot of difference, and I started, firing at walls and stuff, and just, seeing what the spread was like. And to me, the 2 outstanding SMGs are the PDW 57 and the MSMC. Kind of looks like the PM9. And those guns,
that was the second MP7 in my opinion. It looked a lot.
And anytime you get an SMG and you stick a laser sight on it, and either fast mags or quick draw on it, like you've just got like this extremely mobile, killing machine. The laser sights make your reticule so small that anything before 10 feet is just hip fire. So you just hip fire, you'll get the kill. That's what I feel like so far. So I think we'll see a lot of different play styles. I don't think it'll be...
The laser sight thing is something that's really interesting, and I honestly think I had made a thread before I even got the game, just getting people's opinions on what they really, what they thought we should be aware of or what to look out for and reasoning behind certain things, just to kind of get everyone's opinion on it. And a lot of people, I think, will complain no matter what.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I think people are going to complain about laser sights. They're going to complain about 3 attachments. And they're going to complain about...
I'm going to complain about Cap 40 dual wields. It's basically like G18s again.
There's always going to be stuff people complain about, though.
Yeah, but there's always been stuff that there's reason to complain about them, and that's why they've been banned in competitive before. Just like Doc just said,
we can all agree that we want this game to explode, though. Like we've seen what League of Legends has done in the past year.
I want nothing more than this game to be exactly how it is out of the box. That would be the best thing in the world. But I also
best thing for COD competitive too.
I also don't want to turn competitive Call of Duty into shooting rockets at each other and putting attack insertions in corners or crouching in corners, just listening to everybody because nobody has dead silence on. Just those are certain things that, in my opinion, if I put out a poll right now and was like, do you guys want there to be no dead silence because everyone's using awareness? 85% of 10,000 people would say no way, like that there should be dead silence. Does anyone disagree with that?
No.
I
don't disagree with anything anyone in here has been saying. I'm just saying what it kind of has to be, which is out of the box. It kind of does. We can't really put too many restrictions on it like we have done in the past for every COD. So, we either we got to adjust.
I think pro teams and the pro competitive scene is just they want to adjust to a certain level of gaming, and they don't want to have to worry about a whole whackload of stuff to really calculate and really go through and figure out. They just want to be able to go, okay, hey, here's the rules, here's the guns you're going to use, and this is how we're going to play it.
To be honest, I played COD 3 and World at War both very competitively, and both of those games, there was nothing. In COD 3, we had fucking grenade launcher spots that we would sit in the back of the map on war and shoot into the air that would go to the holes at the top of the buildings onto the flag. Like, that shit was... But that's how it was, and in my opinion, that's something we, as a competitive community, it was learned and adjusted from that because that was awful. And there's just certain things that... And to be honest, to me, as a player, I don't care. I'll play anything. Like, I played at COD XP Friday Night Fights. I'll play with anything allowed. I honestly think I'm better with all that crap. I don't know why.
I do.
I'm just a pub star at heart.
Karma does.
Like, maybe it's just because when I play with all that, I'm not playing against people who just can shit on everybody. But I don't mind at all. But at the same time, just from like being a competitive player, I want it to be like as most skill wins more than like. You don't want people to get bullshitted. Like, it needs to be competitive. Like, everything has rules. Basketball, football, even though they're not video games, there's still rules. Anything that you're competing in, you can name anything that you compete in. There's always some type of rules.
Yep.
I got a Juggernaut suit. I got XP. Easy 50 Gs. That's what Mark QB just said. And that was all so true.
Oh, shit.
Thank you, Killstreaks.
I remember COD XP, dude. A lot of people were like, wow, Ego, why is Ego playing so good? What's going on? Ego's actually doing good. What is happening?
Ego's a pub stomper, dude. Pub stomper at heart.
Freaking apocalyptic.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I had a Juggernaut and the flag on Dome CTF and pulled the flag out towards the docks, walking backwards, slow as shit with the Juggernaut. Had 2 guys top dome shooting at me, all 4 guys in their team shooting at me, and just was walking backwards. And my teammates didn't kill them, and they ended up killing me. But it was so fucking funny. And this isn't a match this was like when we lost to Excellence's team to like for second place for like 25 grand extra each. It was like is that really how you want the tournament to come down to? That's really the question to me. Mm-hmm. Like. I'm trying to run tournaments too. There's it's not really a fence, but like I don't know who does do
well,
that.
Ego, what do you think about Vondahar hinting at the fact that himself and Treyarch or Activision's going to be doing their own tournament thing?
I don't know. It probably sucks for me, but no, I think actually I was just a joke. MLG and anybody, as many people do in tournaments as possible, if it just builds the entire awareness of people. It's just like other basketball leagues don't hurt the NBA, you know what I mean? You want to have as many leagues as possible. And that's one thing I think like StarCraft and League of Legends do really well, is all those players support so many different leagues and make those leagues so as big as their potential is.
Well, they do that. They do that because they need a season.
So many people here that the game didn't get picked up at MLG, and they don't care and they don't play.
Well, there's a problem though with like comparing it to StarCraft. For Call of Duty though, it's going to be a good thing because oversaturation in this, as far as tournaments, is going to be extremely helpful. But like if you look at StarCraft, actually they're hurting from a lot of oversaturation with different leagues, and like there are a lot of leagues, but there are a shit ton of tournaments. And no one knows. Yep. Like, if you look at their actual, like, if you look at Twitch and their StarCraft channel and all the people that actually are featured, there are so many out there that no one knows what to watch. So they just go to the usual, like, oh, well, I know what GSL is, I know what MLG is, I know what IPL is, but, like, those tournaments, like, end up just being crushed by everything else. Like, for us, it's going to be amazing. But I think as long as Call of Duty doesn't have a LoL Worlds, it has a WCS, then I think it'll actually be successful. I don't know if that actually, like, if that meaning goes towards you guys.
I have no idea what that meant. Well,
okay. WCS is the world champion. World
WCS, I kind of figured that out. But what was Well World? Is that what it was?
Oh, League of Legends, like, they had this huge ass tournament in Los Angeles, and actually it got delayed because of an enormous amount of errors. But basically, it was a huge tournament.